Warning, the Dub Talk podcast contains language that may not be suitable for younger audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Also, please be aware that spoilers for any anime may potentially occur, so please be careful going into the episode if it is covering a series you haven't finished yet. And lastly, the views and opinions expressed herein are those of the participants themselves and do not reflect those of Dub Talk as a whole. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to go participate in the time-honored tradition of chupacabra hunting. In fact, I think I see one right there. Hey, you, take this! Ha ha ha, gotcha! Oh, it's actually just an old guy in a rubber suit. Oh boy. I gotta get going. Enjoy the show, everyone.
Hello, one and all, and welcome to Dub Talk, the podcast where a group of country bumpkins talk about the latest and greatest in anime English dubs. Welcome to another OG night. I'm Stephanie, and I'm joined by Hardy and Megan.
Chupacabras!
Yep. Chupacabra!
Oh, wait, actually, I stand corrected. Because we're actually not alone right now.
Oh, great.
Is it the Chupacabra?
Yes, absolutely. If you... Beautiful, I love this already. If you listen to our spring announcement episode, you already know we have a mystery guest joining us today. We've actually had some people guess beforehand, mostly in the vein
Is it Miles?
from Crunchyroll. However, no, it is not Miles. You may know tonight's guest as one of the most well-known anime reviewers on YouTube, as well as a good friend of ours, Arkada from Glass Reflection. Hello, sir.
Hi, I'm Miles Thomas from Crunchyroll.
God damn it.
Your voice changed a lot.
Well, I know.
Man, that English dubbing you've got works out great.
Huzzah!
No, hi, I am Arkada from Glass Reflection. Not Miles, though. I'm sure he would love to be here if he had time. But it's not in the cards at this particular date in recording.
Yeah, no, not with
Present day,
what starts
present
tomorrow.
time. For present day, present time.
Ha 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 ha.
I love how you got that right away.
That was a Lane reference.
So actually, if some people will kind of recall, in the announcement video, we actually mentioned that Ark instantly picked tonight's series to talk about if he wanted to come in and hang out with us for a night. So tonight, the four of us are going to be talking about Sakura Quest. Here's a quick little summary just to give you an idea of the show. 5 girls work in the tourism bureau of their small provincial town. The town revives its micronation tourism program, which originated from a nationwide movement during Japan's bubble economy period, and hires the 5 girls as monarchs or tourism ambassadors. So a lot of it is really just kind of a slice of life everyday kind of thing about this group of girls who work for the tourism bureau and trying to revive this small town that used to be flourishing with tourism and visitors all the time. So, Ark, since you did suggest it, I kind of have a question for you, or kind of get an idea. Because remember at AB,
yes.
You instantly said Sakura
Yes.
Quest.
Without hesitation.
Oh, yeah.
Without hesitation.
Oh, yeah.
Can you, just to kind of see, just for people to hear, can you tell us why you quickly asked to jump on if we were to talk about Sakura Quest?
Because Sakura Quest is freaking amazing. Obviously. I saw it. I saw it as a vision before it even aired, because this was Anime Boston, so it actually hadn't aired yet.
Yes.
I saw a vision that said, Ark, you will love Sakura Quest. As it was written,
Miles?
so shall it be.
Yeah.
So it has nothing to do with Shirobako. Okay.
Or Hanasaka Iraha.
And Hanasaka Iraha. I love both of those shows, okay? So, yeah, I had very high hopes for Sakura Quest, and it has not disappointed.
I was gonna say, you had a vision. I was like, damn, when did you all get into the good shit in your room at AB?
He is from Canada. It's legal there.
Yes, it is.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It's also legal in Massachusetts, but it hasn't been regulated yet. But anyways, alright, so we're going to be covering much of the initial Funimation press release, because I know there have been many updates, but I don't think we all want to be here for, like, 5+ hours right now. all the while, we're going to talk about if we had any predictions we might have made, opinions on the casting, and impressions on the first, oh sweet baby Jesus, 7 to 8 episodes. I know we're kind of behind here. There's this thing called life that exists, and that's kind of been kicking ourselves in the pants the past several weeks. But anyway, let's just dive right in, and we're going to start with the ADR director and the script writer. Did anyone whose name is not Hardy, because I know he never does these.
Never.
Did anybody have possible predictions for these two?
No,
I totally guessed it'd be the correct answer. I mean,
I am the best at... I had no idea.
My
don't
fat
try to
finger
guess these
slipped.
things. I just hope and pray that it's someone good, especially for a show that I'm excited about.
Surprise, Stephen Foster rises from the grave.
Oh no!
There are times
Oh, God.
that Stephen Foster has surprised me, but I would still cringe if I was really looking forward to a show and his name was attached to something.
I guess I'm the only one who actually attempted to try and predict things
Okay,
today.
in all fairness, this cast came out a week before the show did, and I was looking at my phone for something else, and my finger slipped and showed me the whole cast.
I was avoiding this cast list like the fucking plague.
Yeah, like if we
Like,
mention something in chat, she's like, shut up. And we're like, yes,
like
Mom.
this and Royal Tutor, the 2 episodes I was doing this season, I'm like, you tell me shit, I'm going to murder you. So my predictions, kind of call back to Royal Tutor if anyone listened to it recall. So how I did my predictions
I think about 1,000 people listen to the Royal Tutor, if you don't get me.
Yeah!
Surprising, I didn't know that
Yeah.
many people actually cared about the Royal Tutor.
I like that show. It's dumb, but I have fun.
It's silly, but it's fun. But how I did my director predictions, what I ended up doing was I went through all of the cast lists for the other shows that they were simul-dubbing this season.
Oh, and you just,
Sakura
like,
Quest and
crossed
Royal
off the
Tutor.
list everybody that you knew.
Basically, yeah.
That's not really fair,
so-
is it?
No, it's not. But you know what? Oh well. Then I kind of just based off of who was left. So, writer-wise, I actually went with Clint Bickham.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of enjoyed some of his slice-of-life writing for things like Barakamon, and even though it's kind of silly, Honda-kun wasn't too shabby. ADR director-wise, I had 3 picks here. My first one that I really, really wanted was Chris George, but I'm stupid and forgot he's still on Monster Hunter Stories right now.
Oh, thank God, I wasn't the only one who forgot about that.
Yeah, I was like, damn it, because I mean, Chris George has had some really nice dubs, even for really, really shitty shows like Netoge.
Oh, please don't bring that show up.
Snow White with the red hair being the big particular one, and I thought he would be a good fit here. But the other 2 I predicted, I also thought would be good fits. Caitlin Glass and Joel McDonald. And lo and behold, director and writer-wise, the script writer I'm going to start with is Jessica Kavanaugh, whom you have probably seen some of her writing for series such as Rumple Kitan, Game of Laplace, Fuka, and Alderamin on the Sky. And the ADR director is, in fact, Caitlin Glass, who has directed series such as Ouran High School Host Club, Fuka, and Show by Rock. So, already, Caitlin and Jessica have already worked together before.
With Fuka.
Since they've both done Fuka. So, what are our thoughts? How do we feel about the directing and writing from Caitlin and Jessica? So,
I don't have too much to say on Jessica, mostly because out of the ones that I looked up that she did, Alderman is the only show that I've actually watched, and I've only seen, I think, about 2 episodes of that one in dub, and I don't really remember it all that well. Caitlin Glass, though, I've known for a lot longer than that, because I've been following her work since around the time that I started caring about looking up people's names. So, I was actually quite happy that I at least knew her work going into this, and I figured that she would do a good job, because I didn't know that first person you mentioned who you were really hoping. I didn't know them by name the first time I ever heard them, so I was
Chris
quite surprised.
George?
Yeah.
Chris George.
Yes, him.
Yeah.
Basically, all you need to know is Snow White with the red hair.
I know, but I haven't watched that dub yet.
You need to fix
I
that.
know. Blame
That
Godswill.
man has a backlog the size of the Mariana Trench.
I'm still blaming
That's
Godswill.
fair. Damn it, Godswill!
See, at this point, I'm, like, pretty much convinced that I need to just buy art Snow White with the red
You
hair.
probably do at this point. You probably do. Because I almost did it
Just ship it up
twice.
the
You know why I didn't? God's will. God's was like, oh yeah, no, sure, I can get that to you. Right, God's will?
Okay.
Alright.
And then,
I see how it is.
we're calling out God's will now. Oh man.
Let's just
It's
call
fine.
it every social media manager we know from an anime company this episode.
Oh no. We've already got Miles, we've already got God's will.
Carolyn!
Carolyn!
Carolyn the
Anyway.
Sentai girl.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Don't forget
any
Char.
other-
And
Oh
Char.
god.
Actual
Any other-
human goddess Char.
Because she
Any other
sparkles.
thoughts? Any other thoughts and opinions on the directing and writing so far?
Oh god, it took a long time for me to actually start getting into this show.
Is it more because of the content of the show itself?
I don't know. That's the problem. I think at least up until episode 6, when the movie starts getting filmed in the town, I had a really hard time. I don't know if it's the content of the show or some of the writing, where I was like, okay, this is really like, it feels out of like otherworldly to kind of watch it. Like, not that it's a bad show, because it's far from being a bad anime. I've watched bad anime this season. It terrifies me.
7 Mortal Sins.
Stop reminding me that I'm on that episode.
You fucking volunteered.
Because I hate myself.
I'm sorry, I've never heard of this anime. Are we talking about the 7 Deadly Sins? That's a really
No,
good
not-
anime. I
no,
actually
we're not
like that
talking-
anime
No, not
quite a
that
lot.
one. Not that
Seven
one.
mortal
There's
sins.
no such thing.
Seven?
The bad
No
one.
such thing. Nope.
Nope.
Ark's like, it doesn't exist.
There is no
Just
anime in Bossing Say.
There is no Black Butler season 2.
Two.
There is no Darker Than Black season 2.
There is
like
totally
everyone
a
else
Darker Than
forgets
Black
this.
season 2. Gemini and the Meteor was amazing, and screw anybody who says otherwise.
Yes.
I forgot you have
There
an
was
opposite
no
opinion, but,
outlaw.
like,
There was no Outlaw Star spinoff called Angel Links.
I'm sorry, what?
Exactly.
Star had a
Exactly.
spin-off? Wow. I'm sure I would have heard of that. You must be pulling that out of your ass.
Yeah. Forget
Next
you
thing
ever
you're
heard
going
I
to tell
saw
me is
that.
that Tsukihime had an adaptation.
Exactly.
Oh.
But yeah,
or that Rurouni Kenshin Reflections ever existed.
Anyway.
Meanwhile, in the land of the living, no, I think the direction is phenomenal on this show, because it seems like each week more people keep showing up, enough to actually populate a tiny town. And I think all the direction on those characters are great. If I had anything, it might be a little bit of the writing, because I just personally feel that it's not my cup of tea, but I'm not gonna hold that against the show too much, because it's an excellently casted show, and if it wasn't for my own like perceptions of things, I'd probably like it more in the beginning, but I'm getting into it now.
I think part of the writing, if I'm recalling correctly, because I watched the first 3 episodes of the Japanese like a couple months ago. I think Jessica Kavanaugh is pretty much staying true to the original series. There might be some deviations here and there in terms of like language and terminology.
I'm pretty sure at one point I
there's
heard
not-
the phrase "you're getting a Razzie."
Yes.
That was
I
just
heard
last
that.
night, in fact, in the last episode.
Yeah.
Oh,
with
so the one I
all
haven't
of
watched
them
yet.
harassing.
Lovely.
Yeah, they're harassing.
No, you should have seen
Grandpa.
it. It was in episode 7.
Was it episode
At the end of
7? Yes, it
episode
was
7.
episode 7.
Episode
That's
7,
right.
because
Okay.
episode 8 was Chef Fun Times.
Yeah.
Bearman.
Bearman.
Bearman
Oh!
and Black Magic.
Yeah, personally, I think it's a solid directing. Writing-wise, might be a little bit iffy, but again, because we've talked about plenty of things Caitlin has directed before. She has so much passion for everything she does. It's insane. So she definitely is taking her time with it and making it a phenomenal show. Even to the point where she's been doing little Periscope live streams like every Wednesday morning.
Sakura
With-
Fest.
Yes. Where she has a couple other voice actors who were in the show join her, and they kind of just recap and chat about the newest episode. I think the one that they did this morning, it was with Ben Bryant and Dave Trosco, who are in episode 8 that aired the night before.
Sadly, these videos contain less Rico Fajardo and toilet paper wedding dresses.
God damn it.
Oh, come on, that video was God's gift to this earth.
It kind of was.
The better
If
part
anyone-
is that Clifford Chapin and Justin Briner were involved, so somebody drew Deku and Kachan doing it.
That was amazing.
Okay.
when that happened.
Keep going, and moving on from this train wreck.
And anyways, Hardy, how do you feel about the directing and writing for the show right now?
Well, I don't really have much to say on it, and I honestly think that's kind of a good thing, because it works. And if there was any glaring flaws or problems, I would have noticed them, and I don't see any. I think for the most part, everything is well casted, everything's well acted. I really am not the type to really pay attention very much to writing on the first glance. And so, yeah, I have no major complaints, honestly. So I think it's a good job.
Sweet. So off to a great start.
Yes.
Are we ready to move on at this point?
Sure.
Yes, please.
Okie dokie. So essentially how this is going to break down with the characters, because again, we're basically following the initial press release, because we're not doing every single cast update. And I know Jamal wanted me to make a stupid Moe joke, but that's not happening. I'm sorry, I love you, dude, but no.
Oh, thank Jesus.
Anyway, I love you, Jamal, but that's not happening today. So we have 3 groups of 3, and then the 5 main girls or main tourism ambassadors are going to be each separate. So the first group of 3 that we have Miss Angelica, who is the restaurant owner, fortune teller woman. We have Erika Suzuki, who is the little girl who works at that restaurant. And we also have, I kind of added this one at the last minute, only because he kind of showed up a bit more frequently. Kosuke Midorikawa, who is Maki's little brother. Did anyone have predictions for these 3?
Not really.
Nope.
Actually, you know what? For Angelica, I thought maybe Monica Rial using her big girl voice. And for Erika, I thought maybe, what was it? Laura Woodhull.
I actually thought Laura Woodhull too for Erika.
Mm-hmm.
But Angelica, which at the time I didn't know her name, so I labeled her as fortune teller lady.
Yeah.
I actually put Rachel Robinson.
Okay.
Just kind of the demeanor of the character and how she presents herself reminds me quite a bit of characters that Rachel Robinson has voiced
I was
before.
like, please don't do it because it would have been a bad show by Rock Joke.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that.
I think the reason I put Monica as Angelica was because she's played fortune teller characters in other shows, such as Bodacious Space Pirates in the past. So that's
See,
kind of why I
haven't
had
seen
her.
Bodacious Space Pirates.
Yeah.
And Ark, I'm guessing you didn't have anything?
Not a clue.
Okay. Alright. So the 3 individuals who are voicing these characters, Angelica is voiced by Miss Colleen Klunkenbeer, who has been in series such as Allison Zoroku, which actually that episode went up like an hour ago as of recording this.
Mm-hmm.
She's also been in Full Metal Alchemist and Trinity Blood as well.
Yay!
I knew you would love that one. Erika Suzuki is voiced by Ms. Jill Harris, who has been in series such as Izetta the Last Witch, Planetarian, and Castletown Dandelion. While Kosuke Midorikawa is voiced by... do I dare ask for it?
No, I'm not doing it. Not tonight.
Good.
Not while
No,
my dad
good.
is sick.
Okay, no.
Thanks, Dad.
No Daryun alarms today. So it's Rico Fajardo, whom you've heard in series such as Garo the Animation, Assassination Classroom, and The Heroic Legend of Arslan.
And let us not forget, you will soon get to hear him rapping as Rico Suave in the dub of Dance with Devils.
I'm so excited for that.
Rico Suave.
Jeez.
I have to. I'm apparently on Twitter run my mouth enough, so now I have to learn how to white girl rap that.
No,
Good luck.
literally, no. Kyle Phillips tweeted about it. He's like, now you can actually hear Rico rapping in episode 5. I said, so now can we call him Rico Suave? And he's like, you don't already? And I'm like, good point. So
The jokes.
yes.
So how do we feel about these 3 performances right now?
Jill Harris is the most precocious little thing ever.
Very different than some of the innocent girl roles that you normally have seen her in.
I don't want to go to taiko drumming practice. Guy walks by. I'm going.
No, it was the brother Kosuke, I think it was actually. He just pops in. Oh, okay, I'm gonna go. I gotta go to practice.
I suddenly
I
don't care about this.
almost didn't recognize Rico at first, honestly. And then it took maybe like a minute or two. And then I was noticing some of the inflections that I could normally pick up on when I'm listening to something.
He's always got that little rasp in the back of his voice that's always there.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I managed to pick up on that, but this is definitely a fun one for him. Yep. Jill Harris is very precocious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just waiting for the episode where Jill Harris makes us all cry again.
Don't.
Don't remind me of Planetarian.
Just no.
And then
Don't.
Colleen, I haven't honestly heard too much from her to really see.
She's sort of a
It's been 8
background
episodes.
character, really.
Yeah.
She doesn't really talk all that much. So
Yeah, in a lot of the places online I've been seeing, Angelica's been listed as like the first supporting character, which is surprising since she doesn't show up all that much.
She
Right,
literally
yeah.
just shows up for like... It's like, oh yeah, hey, time to go to this cafe so that we can all remember Angelica as a character.
Yeah,
Kind of.
like I'm fully expecting her to have a lot more time later on, but for now, at least, no.
It would be interesting if they have a focus towards, at some point, the tourism board has a focus, like, maybe not necessarily just that restaurant, but, like, some of the other big touristy hot spots for, like, food and stuff like that. Even though they are... Episode 8, they're basically trying to come up with a signature dish for the town. That's basically the plot of that episode right now.
And some of the food they come up with is just nasty.
As you would expect.
Bullshit, I would totally eat a sandwich with all that rice on it.
Bullshit, I would totally eat cup ramen with chicken wings sticking out of it.
You
would
mean
you-
you haven't during college?
Would you
Cup
eat
of men.
a caterpillar bun with green goo coming out of its butt?
Which side of the caterpillar bun is the head or the tail?
Yeah.
Lucky
The one that
Star
you
took a
tear
dark
off and dip in the
turn.
chocolate.
Goddamn chocolate coronet.
Lucky Star took a dark turn once the
Yeah.
girls in their 20s.
Yeah, you tear off the part of the green thing and stick it in the green stuff. So,
And
yeah,
call it a day.
right.
But yeah, like these three, there hasn't been a lot going on. I know Rigo's character has kind of been coming in much more compared to the other two. Since Maki has that whole feud going on with her dad.
She has
We
her
get
little
to see a bit.
mini arc in around episode
Yeah.
6 and 7. So he plays a big part in that.
So yeah, he gets to do a little bit more
Yeah.
when it comes to that part.
Yes,
Which is basically why I added him at the last minute, because he did more stuff.
I just realized this show consists of mini arcs. That's why Arc likes it so much, because there's so many of him.
God damn it.
I just smacked my head hard enough that I hope you heard it, Hardy.
Dad
Oh, I heard it.
jokes, dad
Yeah, no, it's
jokes.
there. It's there.
They don't call me the Dub Talk Dad for nothing. I got the dad jokes.
This is why I drink.
This is why Mom Chan.
You have no idea how much I want to drink right now. I have been sober the past month.
Oh, I'm just drinking.
I would
tough
drink, but I
flavored
have to
stuff right now.
drive in a number of hours after sleeping, so I can't.
Just drink on the plane like the lady who made mimosas on my flight to Boston did.
Ugh,
and
that'd
then
be
promptly
fun.
fell asleep.
That'd be fun, except I'm actually planning on sleeping, because I have a
Yeah.
5.5 hour flight first. The first leg is a 5.5 hour flight, and I'd like to sleep most of it.
Also, aircraft drinks are expensive as all get
That
out.
too, my god. You don't even
Yeah.
get
Yeah, I
like
was
complimentary food anymore. It's all like at minimum like $3 US. Ugh.
Like, what the fuck, airline?
You can eat on this airline, but it's going to cost you your firstborn. United
Gonna cost it all
Airlines.
your leg
Yeah, it's
while
like
we're at
they
it.
will give you a drink, like a non-alcoholic drink, if you ask for it. But then they open up a can and fill this tiny ass plastic cup, so it's like half a can of whatever you ask for, and that's all you get.
And the can stays with them.
Yeah,
So-
the can stays with them. You don't even get the can because this is, as I said, you don't drink the full can. You only get like half a can. They open it,
Yeah.
they pour half in, and they save the other half for when the next person asks for that exact thing. I don't
That's
know what
when
they
you
do if
break
there's anything
out
left
the-
over at the end, but whatever.
That's when you
Meanwhile,
break out the
you want, like,
dirty,
a little-
precocious orphan from your carry-on, send him back there, and have them go, please, sir, may I have some more?
Yeah.
Your little mini Oliver Twist.
So this has been this
Oh.
episode's mini arc for Arc.
Yay!
Ow!
Dad
damn
jokes,
it.
dad jokes.
I'm gonna fly up to Memphis and kill you.
I may join in that now.
You can die after you watch Ancient Magus Bride, Hardy.
Because someone wants to go on that one. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm
Any
so
other
waiting
thoughts
for
and
it.
opinions? Any
Yeah.
other thoughts and opinions on these three performances right now?
I hope that they get to do more so that we can hear more, because I would feel really bad if these... Like, I have this weird thing where it's like, after you've watched a show with so many characters and then, like, you see really, like, awesome voice actors you love in, like, little itty-bitty roles, you're like, I know someone has to do these roles, but damn it, come back!
So I guess at this point we're gonna move on. Okay.
Beep, beep.
The next group of 3 we're gonna talk about, we have Chitose Oriba, who is Ririko's grandmother.
The bitch.
Who
Snack
runs
bitch.
who runs a confectionery store, is part of the board of merchants, and she has basically a penchant and rivalry against the tourism bureau. Then we have Taka Miyazawa, who is a bus driver in town.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have Sandal. Why he's named Sandal, I don't fucking know. He's this blonde guy who kind of wanders around the town like a vagabond of sorts, which eventually...
Doesn't your town have a minstrel, Lilac?
No! Who eventually we find out is apparently a really good artist.
He's a wandering minstrel.
Wandering minstrel, yes.
Yes.
Anyone attempt to have predictions, or is it just me again?
Probably just you.
Probably just you, Mom.
What the actual fuck?
I don't think I had predictions. I think I tried to make
I don't
some,
make a
but
habit
I
of doing
didn't.
any predictions for any show, mostly because I end up only have time to watch a show subbed when it comes out, because everybody's like yelling at me about things long before the dub comes out. If I waited to give my quote-unquote thoughts on some things, do you guys even have any idea what it would have been like if I said nothing about My Hero Academia until the first episode of the dub? Well, okay, that's a horrible example since the dub actually came out on time.
I'm about to say, that's a terrible example.
Yeah.
No, it's like, imagine
But if that
Arkad
didn't happen-
waited Dragon Maid.
Yeah.
Like, if he waited on Dragon Maid, I'm pretty sure that, like, a hell swath of Kyo Annie fanboys would have marched their ass up to Canada, Sherman fire marching the entire countryside as they go.
Yeah, basically. That's kind of what would have happened, yes.
And then if you had a negative
Anyway.
opinion on it, they would have burned down all of Canada.
Oh my god, yeah. Thankfully, that show was great,
Great.
and you should watch it.
Anyways.
I'm working. I need to catch up. I'm so behind on it.
So anywho, the predictions I have for some of these characters. I actually didn't have anything for Grandma. But I
Nothing
did
for
do
Grandma,
the bus
Mom?
driver and Sandal. Bus driver, I just kind of defaulted to Ian Sinclair.
Yeah.
Default. But Sandal,
This bus is dandy.
Yes.
Dandy driving
But
the
for
funk bus.
That would be weird. But Sandal, I actually had 2 picks. Mostly because the personality-wise and demeanor, when I saw it in the Japanese, reminded me of these 2 voice actors instantly. I had Eric Vale, and I also had Austin Tyndall. But lo and behold, who do we have? Chitose Oriba, who is voiced by Miss Rachel Robinson, whom you've probably seen in series such as Aka 13 Territory Inspection Squad, Department, wow, I'm stupid, Helsing Ultimate, and Snow White with the red hair. Taka Miyazawa, the bus driver, is voiced by Robert McCullum, whom you've seen in Death Parade, Barakamon, and Psycho Pass.
Rainer has a weird side job.
And Sandal is voiced by Mr. Jerry Jewell, whom you've probably heard in series such as Yuri on Ice, Assassination Classroom, and The Heroic Legend of Arslan. Oh my god, it's Geeve all over again.
It's Geeve from Arsland!
Holy shit.
It's Geeve, the fuckboy minstrel from Arsland, all over again with less of a fuckboy personality.
True facts.
And
so
less
how
of
do we
him
feel-
chasing Rachel Robinson around.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. Sandal might be into older women. I don't know.
We haven't seen that yet.
Sandal's in...
Not yet.
Did Sandal get put into jail again?
Sandal did not get put in the jail. He was hitchhiking.
Oh yeah, that's right, he was
with the cops.
hitchhiking.
He was hitchhiking with the cops for some stupid
Only in
reason.
Japan.
It's like, what? So how do we feel about these 3 performances?
Miss Oriba's a bitch.
Yeah,
And I do not
but
like
that's just
her.
kind of the character.
Yeah.
Rachel Robinson's doing a great job though, like, she is like the most convincingly angry, bitching, conniving old lady you can think of.
It's because everybody knows that character. Everybody has somebody that they know that acts just like that.
Yeah, and definitely her interactions with Kadota, who we'll talk about next, those interactions and that dynamic between Rachel and the voice actor who plays Karuta, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Rachel,
Seeing them go back and forth and yell at each other.
Rachel Robinson's the voice when you need an angry old woman and Wendy Powell is busy. So
Come back.
Basically.
I miss Wendy Powell.
We miss you. Come back sometime. How about thoughts on Robert McCollum or Jerry Jewell? How do we feel about either one of these gentlemen?
It's really weird with Robert McCollum being so laid back in this show.
Yeah, I don't really.
Jerry,
think
however,
we
is
can
like pretty bang on for what I kind of expected to come out of that character's mouth.
Yeah, honestly. I'm sad I didn't think of him instantly.
Yeah, all you need to do is give Sandal a Russian accent, and he's basically Russia from Hatalia. Yeah.
Or maybe to some extent not Yuri, excuse me.
Victor. Yes.
Yeah.
Victor Nikiforov.
Wrong Russian Yuri.
Yes.
Wrong
Allow me
Russian
to sing you a song about pork cutlet bowl. But not before I pull out magic metal pipe of pain.
Yes.
Magic Metal Pipe of Pain is my band's
People
name.
think they're smarter than me. Maybe. They're not outsmart
been
magic pipe
hilarious.
of pain.
It would have been so hilarious,
Yes.
though, if they decided to just give Sandal a Russian accent out of nowhere because
There-
it's Jerry.
Also, he's like the one blonde guy in Japan.
If only Funimation
Yes.
did bloopers.
Yes.
I can only imagine what the... Well, Caitlin did record bloopers of Fuka that she had, which
Yep.
gave me the
They're on her
glorious...
Twitter, and it's glorious.
I don't know if anybody saved the compilation, but my favorite one is, wait a second, what are you doing here? You were supposed to get hit by the truck. I read the manga. And I think it was Rico, too, who yells that. That and the,
No, I think it was Aaron. It was Aaron.
whatever,
Aaron
those
Disney
bloopers
did.
were 12 episodes of trolling Aaron Dismuke.
It was kind of funny.
You a virgin still? Yes? No? Maybe? I'm gonna take that as a yes. But no, it's, like I said, it's real, especially this season, and I wouldn't say it any other time if it wasn't for this anime season. I'm pretty sure this is what they make Robert McCollum do after recording Attack on Titan. Because, dear sweet Jesus, that poor man.
Attack on Titan and My Hero. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
This is fun fact, this is actually what's going on in Rainer's head right now.
He's
But-
thinking happy thoughts. Driving a bus the whole time.
No, I kind of want to know what that guy's story is, Taka Miyazawa. I hope he becomes, like, a bigger character later on.
Especially because we do come to find out, because Yoshino, the main character essentially, she finds out that she has been to this town before as the pint-sized little queen at that point, and Takumi Miyazawa was actually the prince at that time.
See, I want to know
That's the interesting part.
what's going on there. Second, I'm pretty sure Sandal is, if this was a magical anime, Sandal would just basically be like the god trying to watch over the town. But I liked all the performances. But like Ark said, the fact that we all know a Cheese Jose in our lives makes Rachel's performance terrifying at
Yes.
points.
Yes.
My
That's
God.
fair.
Yeah. She may be good at making sweets, but her demeanor is anything but.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You don't mess with a bitch when it comes to her merchant board. God damn it.
He's like, bitch, where my candy?
Bitch, better have my candy.
Honey, where's my super suit?
That's who she is!
Oh my god.
Frozone's wife! Honey, where are my chupa manju?
Why do you need it?
I need to save the town! It's the greater good!
Oh my god. Well, I guess bottom line is we like those performances. And we
I
all
like
know
how Rachel
we all know what she to
Robinson's-
say.
Perhaps
most-
I use pork cutlet to catch moose and squirrel.
God damn it.
Alright, let's move on.
Beep beep.
Anyway.
Next bus stop.
Thank you. Thank you, bus driver Robert McCollum. Anyway,
Beep beep.
the last three we're going to talk about together. Ushimatsu Karuta, who is the one who's in charge of the tourism board.
Grumpy Dad.
Grumpy Dad. Grumpy Grandpa. We also have Mino and Yamada. They are also employed there as well as assistants. I I may as well go through mine because I'm going to take a wild guess. No one had predictions.
I had predictions for... I think I had passing predictions for Mino and Yamada. I did have one prediction for Kadota. I actually had two, actually.
Oh my god, it's not just me now.
Yes.
Thanks, sweet
for,
baby Jesus.
For Mino and Yamada, I kind of just threw out random names. I think I put out Micah Solusod and Austin Tyndall. I don't even know as who. Just choose who you think. And
So basically interchangeable.
Yeah.
You go into box 1, you go into box 2.
right.
Okay.
But for Kadota, I kind of defaulted and I went with either John Swasey or R. Bruce Elliott. Because they both are known for, of course, playing crotchety old grandpa dads. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
John Swasey would have been an
here-
interesting pick, actually, now that I think
John
about
Swasey
it.
would have been fun.
Holy shit.
John Swasey would have been fun. Anyway, my predictions. Let's see. For Mino, which is the glasses guy, I defaulted to two actors who play glasses characters. Those being J. Michael Tatum and Christopher Bevins.
Mm-hmm.
Yamada, I thought because Yamada was seemingly probably a little bit younger between the duo, I actually went Dallas Reed and Brendan McGinnis. And Kadota, I actually also had R. Bruce Elliott as one of my picks. And... Because why the fuck not? I had Damon Mills.
I knew you were going to say it! I knew it ever since I cast him as Zoroku. We're trying to find out more people.
You gotta remember, though, I did this before I got the audio for Zoroku, for Allison Zoroku.
Yeah. No, you
Okay,
just...
to be fair,
The man's a
Damon
fucking
Mills'
wizard.
range is slightly terrifying and he should be feared.
Yes.
No! How does Yakov's voice come out of that face?
He is a very pretty man, so...
He is
He's
like a
very
young
pretty man.
20-something, too.
Yes.
He's a young
Almost,
20-something.
almost pretty as poor Cutler.
Yes. I show him my magic metal pipe of fame someday.
Oh, dear sweet baby Jesus, no. Oh, dear sweet baby Jesus.
Dear God, if you're listening right now, send me an angel.
Save me
Probably
from this
one-
insanity.
Send me the angel of Smirnoff so I can attempt to forget my woes.
Oh, but yeah, I put Damon Mills here because he's a goddamn wizard, and I was like, I've heard him as Yakov. Why don't we just have him play another crotchety old man for no freaking reason? Just to do it. But anyway, here's what we have. So for Yamada, we actually do have Dallas Reed coming in there, and you've probably heard him in series such as Cheerboys, Nanbaka, and Show Me the Sample. Mino is actually voiced by Aaron Roberts, whom you've heard in series such as All Out. Seraph of the End is one of Megan's favorite fucking characters, and another show that Megan loves, Token Ramu
Yes!
Hanamaru.
Mm-hmm.
I love you, overworked tracksuit dad.
Ushimatsu Kadata is actually voiced by Mark Stoddard, whom you've probably heard in series such as Danganronpa 3, The End of Hope's Peak Academy, Drifters, and Ping Pong the Animation. Kind of to start off thoughts, I actually didn't peg Mark Stoddard for this role. Honestly.
He looks okay. Steph and Ark, and I think Hardy's watched Akka. Am I high, or does he look like his character from Akka but balding?
What, Spade? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Kinda,
looks
yeah.
like Spade, and he plays Spade.
Yeah.
I didn't put two and two together. I didn't think it was gonna happen, though.
Yeah. My thing, with these three, is Mark is the only one that I actually knew, but before, recently with Akka, I never knew his name. I looked him up because I was like, oh, this guy's pretty cool, I wonder what else he's been in, and I could, fill my
And then you
hand
saw the list.
with, shit that I've watched in dub. It's not like usually when I look up, dub people, and I'm like, oh, they were in this show that I did not watch dub. But no, I've watched a shit ton of dubs that he's been in, but, I never place him because he's always this not really background supporting character, but one of those that are there, they have a decent amount of lines, but you kind of forget about them after a while because that's just their character. And he's
one
been
of the
a
best
shit
ways to
ton of them.
identify. One of the best ways to identify him, Ark, is he's always the guy who sounds like he's ex-military.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because he does have authoritative presence.
Very
when he
much
does
so.
his performances.
and that's my one critique about him in this role is that he doesn't really play crotchety old men very often. He plays old men all the time.
Mhm.
Because he is an older gentleman. But yeah, here he just sort of plays this grumpy granddad, and it's not really something that he's used to. And I don't know, it's just a different take on his voice. I don't think it's bad. I probably would have given it to someone like Bruce Elliott if I was doing the casting, but I think he does an okay job. You know, when I view Mark Stoddard, I like to put him in roles for the more distinguished older gentlemen, I guess you could say, like someone in a position of power, because he does have that very authoritative ex-military type of voice. So listening to him here, it's kind of different. So, like I said, it's not bad, but it does take a bit of getting used to, in my personal opinion.
I mean, it may be different and it does take time to get used to, but at the same time, it's not typecasting, which I can appreciate, doing some, like, different variety and versatility for some actors. Because unfortunately, there gets to be a point where you are typecasted all the time is one particular thing.
This is true.
John Swayze actually said this when he was doing the interview with Roots and I, that there sometimes becomes a point where he does get typecasted as the dad figure of some kind. So I can appreciate that Kaylin decided to do something completely different, and give Mark Stoddard the chance to try something that's a little bit different for him.
Yeah. It's funny that you bring up John Swayze being typecast as the older guy, because sorry to go off on a tangent, but in the new Black Butler movie that just came out, he finally got to achieve his lifelong dream of playing a Bishi as the Undertaker.
Thanks, Ian.
Yeah, thanks, Ian. That's great.
Yes.
Though I do kind of drink to forget that Black Butler dub exists.
And he sounds strangely similar to Christopher Bevins when he plays a Bishonian character.
Wait a second.
I'm not lying.
What, Megan?
That's a blank plus blank equals blank question mark equals question mark in my mind. How you go from John Swayze, Bishonen equals Chris Bevins.
Listen to the dub of the movie. If you disagree, that's fine, but that's what I heard with my own 2 ears, and that's what I'm sticking to.
If the movie was here, I totally would, and if it wasn't on a weeknight when I finished work at 6, and had to go to fucking Cambridge.
But whatever, that's just what I wanted to say.
Harvard University,
No.
There's so many Cambridges, my god.
Yes, too many.
No, I'm happy that Dallas Reed is not in another shitty harem light novel show again.
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
Please, for the love of God, Funimation, I think he's earned his stripes that you don't need to keep putting him in those shows.
I mean, he already has Show Me Sample and Neto Gay, so...
And Clockwork Planet.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Okay, please stop doing that to Dallas. He's a good boy.
They're all good
boys. Except for that Quiff kid.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, I don't know what... That boy ain't right.
Oh,
That boy ain't right.
That boy ain't right, I tell you what.
I mean, you did call... I mean, just to quote Hardy, you did call him a fucking loser. To be fair.
Well, if the shoe fits.
And this is why we're going to get it. This is why at least 3 of us in this chat, 3 out of the 4 of us in this conversation, are going to be banned from going to Texas ever again after this year. But
have fun. I'm gonna
always...
go at some point, I think.
I'll put you in my carry-on. We'll take you to Anime Fest.
And this is why I'm probably gonna hear shit later from him. Thanks, guys.
We don't mean Cliff's not a loser.
He's not.
He's a geek. He's a nerd. Anyway, no. And it's also fun hearing Aaron Roberts in things where he gets to be calmer, because I'm used to usually hearing Aaron Roberts flipping the fuck out.
And crashing shit.
Blackest Weld is my favorite character, my favorite side character in Seraph of the End, only because he jackassed a plane into a wall. But for me, Mark Stoddard, it's really weird. And at some point, it kind of borders on a little bit annoying because he doesn't stop screaming. Ever. And I don't know if that's the character or him.
It's the character, for sure. But, I mean, Yeah, it
Like,
is. It is different hearing him do that type of performance.
Though I do like hearing him and Rachel Robinson yell at each other like a bunch of crazy old grandparents.
That's always fun. Again, going back to that dynamic, I love the dynamic between Rachel and Mark as these two crotchety old grandparent type characters. It's a lot of fun to see them argue, honestly.
They're like a couple crotchety parents in a divorce, and the kid is the town.
Yeah.
Wonderful. That's a nasty divorce right there. Oh shit.
Whoever wins,
Yeah,
we
I also-
lose.
Exactly.
Just draw
I
one
also-
big line right across the middle of town.
This is my half and that's yours. You stay in your side of the town.
But your side
No,
has the
you're-
ice machine.
I don't give a shit. You stay in your
But your side has the toilet.
Anyway, I mean, speaking of dynamics, I also really like the dynamic between Aaron Roberts and Dallas Reed. They are kind of there for a lot more comedic effect compared to some of the other characters. I mean, when remember that mascot contest, and they roll up, face masks on, and like, we found the chupacabra head. It was in the trash.
Yeah.
It was this nasty ass looking thing. I'm like, oh no.
Cosplay shame of years past.
Basically, like, I feel like the dynamic between Aaron and Dallas is great, and they also play really well off of Mark whenever the three of them are bickering.
Mm-hmm.
Or, well, I should more say, Mark yelling at them. Like, what are you doing? You stupid. Like, I
Well,
like
he yells
that
at
dynamic.
everybody, so.
Yeah, he does. It's fun. There's a lot of fun dynamics all around, really,
Mm-hmm.
in this show, which is great to watch. Do we think we're good to move on?
Yes.
Yes, please. Let's move on to our main five.
Yes.
The
We have our
Fab
main-
Five.
The Fab Five, the ministers, the ambassadors. These are each going to be individual.
These chicks.
So these bitches. So the first one.
The 5 entries to this year's PA Works Waifu War.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. So the first one, Ririko Oribe. She's pretty much probably the quiet character among the 5. She's very interested in the occult. And she's also friends with Shiori, who we'll get to much later on. And she doesn't necessarily have arguments with her grandmother, but her grandmother's like, I don't want you to have anything to do with that tourism bureau. So she's just kind of there as like, oh, cool. I'm gonna go off and do it anyway. She's very quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Any predictions for Riri?
Yes, the main 5 I did make all predictions for. Yeah.
Alright, what you got?
For Ririko, I kind of defaulted to characters who have played very stoic and very quiet, sheepish characters in the past. And so I chose either Jeremy Lee, who
Okay.
she doesn't do a lot of broadcast dubs, but she pops in every now and then.
Right.
And I also had Jade Saxton, because she plays a lot of characters who facially resemble Ririko in a lot of ways.
I only had one, and I actually went with Afia Yu on this one. Because Afia has played quiet, stoic characters before as well. And I also just want to see Afia in more larger roles too, because she is phenomenal when she is.
Mhm.
Did Gosick have any sway on that?
Oh shit, I forgot Gosick got dubbed.
Shh, we're not talking about that.
Oh,
That's for later.
Fun,
You didn't say
edit
the
that out.
character though. You didn't say the character though,
Yeah.
so we're safe. We're
Yeah.
safe.
We don't have to call out technical difficulties just yet. Yeah.
It's not a technical foul yet.
Yes. We'll be right back.
Suddenly,
We
a
gotta
pic-
wait. We gotta wait until September when the second half comes up. And if Cliff Chapin's listening to this, I'm sorry, man. You have to wait.
So
Because he
does
wants
the team
this
doing
episode to happen so
Hyoka.
bad. He wants
So
the
does-
episode to happen so bad.
So
He's
does
like, I
Team
don't wanna
Hyoka,
wait.
though.
Anyway. Any other predictions aside from Party and I?
Nope.
Cricket. Cricket.
I'll take that.
Well,
silence as a no.
who would you cast otherwise? Let's put it that way. If you
Okay.
hadn't been spoiled.
Oh. Fuck.
I don't really know if it's a matter of who I would have casted otherwise. It was just kind of, I was surprised with Ririko of how Brina actually ended up playing her. Because I was...
Surprise, it's Brina Palencia, guys!
Well, no, but it's like, I'm listening to it, and I'm just like, I know it's Brina, because I recognize the voice, but I'm like, I swear she's like channeling Rei Ayanami here. And I didn't actually get that from the Japanese at all. So I thought it was a very different kind of stoic and monotone performance that I wasn't expecting out of whoever they would have casted, least of all Brina. But...
Right.
So surprise,
Well, I mean,
it's Brina Palencia. And real quickly, just for a few of the roles that she has done, she has been Bakuno, Snow White with the Red Hair, and Black Butler.
Yeah, it's
continuing on.
It's funny that Ark mentions Rei Ayanami because she was the new voice of Rei in the Evangelion movies. Over.
Right, she was
taking over from Amanda Wynn Lee, who was also very strangely, doesn't do.
I haven't. Oh, yeah, no, I haven't really spent a lot of time with the Funimation Evangelion dub, or at least the replacements in them. So, yeah, no, it didn't even occur to me that Brina was Rei Ayanami. Shit, no, you're right.
Yeah, and in the old dub of Black Cat, she played Eve, which was a very similar, very quiet character.
I forgot about that. It's been forever since I've seen Black Cat, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's on my shelf and I haven't watched it in years.
Yeah. And so that's, in my opinion, that is who I would compare it to, is those quiet characters like that. And I think Ririko is cute when she gets flustered. That's what I would have to say. She doesn't really say much, and so it's an easy job, but when she does try to say a bit more, it's very endearing and is some of the funnier moments in the show. Like, why does she dress up as a ninja?
Forgot that happened.
Yes.
Don't you dress up as a ninja when you go farming?
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean...
Don't you kink shame her?
Okay.
I think that was the beginning of episode 5. No, not 5, excuse me, 8.
8.
Mm-hmm.
The newest one.
And it is actually funny that Ark brings up Rei Ayanami, because that's what it honestly does remind me of, because I've seen 2 of the 3 Funimation Eva films. I haven't seen the third one, aka Jerry Jewell puts on some fucking clothes. Evangelion 3.33. Finally, somebody gave Jerry a shirt.
Damn it.
But, out of all 5 of the girls, I would actually say Ririko is my least favorite. In terms of performance. And I don't know, again, if it's me or if it is because it's so close to Rei for me. And there are some lines that do come off as a little bit stilted. I think there's one in episode 7 when her and Maki are talking in the library, and it came off as really robotic to me. And again, it's probably my own personal preference. But I've liked other Brina roles a bit more than this one. However, it's not me saying that it's awful and terrible. It's actually really good. It's just, again, personal preferences. It's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Maybe episodes down the line, because I think the Japanese are on, episode 13?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's at the halfway point in the Japanese broadcast, yeah.
And from what I've been told, episode 10 is a lot about Ririko.
Okay.
So maybe when I get to that, a lot of this show, I may start liking it more when I get to a different point in the show. But as of right now, I don't think it's bad, but it's not my personal cup of tea.
Yeah, what I would say is Brina would not be my first choice for this character, but I think when she does make it sound cute, but I think for the most part she does have a tendency to be very robotic at times.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat because I wasn't too sure about Brina at first either. It's slowly growing on me, but I can see what you're saying, that there are some bits and pieces that might seem a little stilted or maybe robotic at times.
I don't know if it's just me and Hardy also thinking it's a little bit weird to jump from... I don't know if it's me or maybe Hardy, especially when you're somebody who has binged-watched 20-something episodes of fucking Fairy Tail lately.
Why?
Jumping from her doing Juvia, who is literally on, crack cocaine.
You're a Fairy Tail. We're making ourselves suffer. It's great.
Yes.
Well, that's actually not the worst. I have a friend that not only marathoned through all of Fairy Tail in 3 months, they then decided to start over and do it again on a stream with other people
Why?
right afterwards. Because apparently they really like Fairy Tail.
Ark, I will tell you this, at least it's not 366 days of Bleach, which I personally went through, and I do
Why?
not recommend that to anyone.
How? How did you even?
It was a leap year. We watched one episode every day for an entire year, and we regretted it immensely.
How much did your liver regret it?
I basically have a liquid crystal garden growing in my liver right now.
You should bleach that shit out.
Yes, if I shake my stomach, it makes, like, I can hear the clanking noises. So,
Okay, back
yeah.
to the show.
it sounds like a wind chime.
Okay, Hardy, no one wants to know that.
Oh, I'm face palming right now. Dear
Next
Lord.
up.
And anyway, moving on.
Yeah, are we skipping? Or do we not? Does anyone not have any more opinions of the character?
I think we've kind of
Okay.
stated them. I think overall it's kind of mixed.
Right.
Like some of us really enjoy it. They've been enjoying it, even though it may not have been our first choice.
Right.
But there are some bits and pieces there where it's kind of still a little bit iffy.
Yeah.
But
Well, we
Anyway.
all have our best girls, and now we're moving on to my choice for best girl.
I would almost agree with you actually.
Yeah.
Sanae Kozuki. She is. Out of the 5, I'm gonna assume she's the oldest among them.
She's the mom chan.
She's kind of the mom cham. The mom.
She already
No,
might actually be
she's
either
Aunt Chan.
the same age
She-
or
Aunt Chan.
older.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say she's Aunt Chan, not Mom Chan.
Okay.
Also, is that a bug?
God damn it. So Sanae, she is a web designer. She used to work for this big corporation in Tokyo. However, after basically working herself to the point where she gets sick, and then realizing that anyone could really do this job anyway, she decides to move out to this small rural town. She's been living here for about 6 months before she meets Yoshino, and she starts helping them out the tourism board. She was deemed the minister of IT among the 5. So, predictions for Sanae.
I had 3. Let me see if I can. You go first. I need to see if I can remember, because it's been a few months since I made these predictions.
Okay. So I actually had 2. One of which, because sometimes you'll see directors put themselves in their own show. So one of my choices was Caitlin Glass.
Okay.
My other choice, because it's kind of a more mature figure, though she does have her fun comedic moments, I kind of got vibes of I don't remember her character's name in Show by Rock, but I kind of got vibes off of her, and maybe a mix slightly of Bishamon from Noragami. I actually picked Elizabeth Maxwell as my second choice.
Okay. For my 3 choices, first one that came to mind was Jamie Markey,
Okay.
because she looks kind of like a lot of the characters that Jamie has played in the past. Sort of has the same mannerisms as well.
Yeah, no, I could actually see Jamie doing a good job there.
Right. My second choice was Morgan Garrett, for many of the same reasons. Yeah.
I can see that too.
Yeah, she has played a lot of Mom Chans and Aunt Chans and Big Sister Chans and all that. And for my third choice, I just wanted to pull something out of the air, and I thought of this the day that the cast list was announced was Elizabeth Maxwell.
Cool.
And so
guess
Ding,
what?
ding,
what?
Yeah. We both
Guess
got
what?
it
It's
right.
Elizabeth Maxwell.
Okay.
So Elizabeth Maxwell, if you haven't seen, if you're not as too familiar with her, you've probably seen her in series such as Noragami, as previously mentioned before.
My waifu. As Megan's
Ghost-
waifu.
Ghost in the Shell Arise as the new Makoto Kusanagi, the major. And she's also an Overlord. Which again, by the way, Overlord, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And for all of us playing Persona 5, she is currently interrogating us. But please, don't...
I bet you never saw that coming, did you?
I'm pretty sure he's gonna kill you now.
Anyway, how do we feel about Elizabeth Maxwell as Sanae?
I think she did really, really good, actually.
It's a lot of fun.
Elizabeth Maxwell, constantly surprises me with, the characters she plays. Because the first thing I ever heard her as was Ymir in Attack on Titan.
Right.
And then I watched Noragami, where she can basically be my queen and goddess any day.
Yeah, because Bishamon's, the best. The literal best.
Yeah, and season 2 was literally a masterclass in ripping out your heart and stomping on it.
Yes.
It gave me the ugly cries.
So many ugly cries.
So much ugly crying that season. That whole season was ugly crying in the anime.
Oh my god.
Ebisu didn't fucking deserve that. Ebisu didn't deserve that.
Anyway.
But no, she is fantastic in this, and I think some of my favorite parts is how quick her, like, temper can change sometimes.
Yeah.
Going from being really calm to, like, screaming about bugs. But my personal favorite one comes in episode 7 when they're all drinking, and, Yoshino falls asleep with the beer in her hand.
Yep.
And it's just like, she's talking, oh my god, and she's like, did she fall asleep with a beer
She's
in
got
her
a vice
hand?
grip.
Like, that whole sequence was amazing. Just, we've all been in that situation where we need to take the beer from your sleeping friend's hand. We've all been to cons.
Right.
I mean, a big thing I also enjoyed from Elizabeth Maxwell, because she kind of has her own mini arc when they go into the wood carving district for a couple of episodes, because this is where we kind of see a bit more of Sanae. Kind of like, yeah, I did kind of run away from Tokyo just to come here. And that whole thing, and she kind of... The fact that she is told by this apprentice woodcutter who basically left the city because he wanted to do this, compared to Sanae just running away, that really hit her hard, and I can kind of feel that a little bit at times, which is really good for Elizabeth Maxwell.
Oh yeah, that's when she gets yelled at by David Wald.
Yes.
Episodes.
Yes.
That's an honor, by the way. You know, many actors have gone their entire lives just wanting to be yelled at by David Wald. So
Just be in Fairy Tale, and then Gajio can yell at them.
yeah.
That's fair.
Then the best Fairy Tale character can yell at them.
Yes. Gajil is the best character, bar none.
Also, one of my friends is about to watch Experiments Laden from the first time on my Facebook. God rest his soul.
Man.
Well, fuck. But yeah, I know I really enjoyed Elizabeth Maxwell's performance. I think it was probably one of the stronger ones from the show so far to me.
It took a bit of getting used to in my personal case, because it isn't the voice that I normally associate with characters like that. But now that we're a few episodes in and she's really made the character her own, I really dig it.
Like, again, like, adult kind of figure, adult aunt kind of figure. Again, I instantly thought of Elizabeth Maxwell. And, because I came off of Fuka, where she played a high schooler. Now, that was a trip and a half.
Well, I mean, you should see her play in either Cannon Busters, where she plays like a tiny little android, or she's in Breath of the Wild, the new Legend of Zelda game, where she plays like a 12-year-old princess. So...
She also plays fucking Step On Me Camel Driver.
Oh, yeah. She plays them both. Yeah, both of the incarnations of the Gerudo hero, she plays both of them. So
Video games, that's where you lose me.
Mhm.
Anyway.
We're bringing video games up again very soon. Very soon.
Oh, yay. Any other thoughts on Elizabeth Maxwell's performance of Sanae?
Besides, it was great.
it's good.
We good, fam.
We good, fam. So, moving on, we're going to talk about Maki Midorikawa. She is an actress who I don't think it explicitly says that she came back to this small town from Tokyo, but she grew up in this small town, left to pursue acting, but she kind of gets stuck in this rut a little bit, and she kind of leaves that and comes back here. And she, what was she deemed? The Minister of Handy Women or something?
Something like
She's
Something
like,
like that, yeah.
she's like, they're like, I don't know what to do. Fuck it. Midorikawa, can you do this? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. She's really awesome as a tree, by the way.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's
Yeah,
like the best tree.
Best tree.
That is the best tree ever, man.
Best tree. Predictions
She also
for
has
Maki.
daddy issues.
Oh,
She also has daddy issues.
yeah.
Predictions for Maki.
Oh, yeah, I had 2 of them, and Megan's going to like my predictions a lot.
Wait, what?
For Maki. Because I actually chose 2. I chose Alex Moore,
Yeah!
And I chose Morgan Berry.
Double yeah!
Yeah, because they've both played characters similar to Maki in temperament and just overall aesthetic.
Just cast Alex more and more shit, especially where she gets to be fucking crazy.
So basically, Megan, you want to cast Alex more?
God damn it.
Dad jokes.
This is what every day I hope and pray that I'm adopted.
Oh, wait.
Oh wait, I am.
I'm gonna piggyback off of your predictions, Hardy, because I actually had the two Morgans. So I also had Morgan Berry. But I also had Morgan Garrett as well. Because Morgan Garrett has also played similar characters like this before, and I figured this would be a good fit here too. Lo and behold, though, surprise, surprise,
Surprise, motherfucker!
surprise, motherfuckers, is Leah Clark, who you've probably seen in series such as Baka and Test, Eden of the East, and Maria the Virgin Witch.
And as Miss Kobayashi, of course.
Going into thoughts and how we feel about the performances, I think Leah's performance is probably either my first or second favorite.
See, for me, I had the problem not so much with Leah's performance of Maki, but more so Maki as a character. I don't really like Maki as a character all that much, so I was kind of less engrossed in the performance, because I was just like, okay. She was a very cute tree, though.
Such a graceful
Just a
tree.
graceful tree.
I can understand, because
You weep that willow, Maki.
that whole arc during the shooting of the film that they were doing there, I don't want to call it out of left field, but it wasn't exactly developed very well. I mean, to be fair, I kind of feel like Leah did perform what they gave her rather well. It's just that, you're right, Ark, the character itself is a little bit off in terms of development.
Well, I think it doesn't help that half of her arc was also upended by Shiori.
That too.
In the house.
They basically threw in another side arc for one of the girls in there too.
Yeah.
That doesn't help much. Because all of a sudden, when we get to episode 8, we're more focused on Shiori now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you were going to try to bridge the arcs, I feel like it could have been a little more cleanly done, but that's a Japanese production thing, not Leah Clark's acting.
No. Right, exactly. She's still a graceful tree, though.
Yes.
Best
tree.
The last couple of seasons, though, are teaching me that Leah Clark should also be feared as an actress. Oh. And by feared, I mean respected, because not only is she Kobayashi, and then she does Maki, and those two are going to yell at me more. I have gone from watching her play out of work, down on her luck actor, to occasionally drunk maid fetish dragon wife, human dragon relationship mom, to a little boy who is scared of his own shadow, all in like the course of the last couple months.
Yeah.
And
she's had like pretty scary range too. Like the first time I ever heard it was back when Soul Eater first came out and she did Blair. And that was a pretty charismatic start there.
Well, let's also not forget the amazing role she did in Dead Man Wonderland.
I knew it was coming!
Oh, sweet baby.
Yes.
I knew this was coming!
Which, and I quote,
and here we go again, like you always do.
Every time Leah Clark comes up, this has to be said.
Why don't you go jack off into a bottle of formaldehyde and call it our firstborn?
Speaking of which, she's a tiny boy with tigers and token Ranbu, and it's fucking adorable. But no, I think she also maybe makes me like Maki a little more as a character. I can definitely agree with what you guys said that her character arc is really like out of frickin' nowhere in episodes 7 and 8. No, 6 and 7. 6 and 7. And I do feel like she's not my favorite role, but I do have to give Leah Clark props for her acting on it. Because I feel like out of all of the girls, maybe outside of Rimiko, because we haven't gotten to her arc yet, she works with not some of the best material.
Yeah.
And I feel like if the right actress wasn't on there, they could have not really salvaged that arc very well.
Yeah. Personally, I like Leah Clark as an actress just fine. I'm not sure if she would be my first choice for this particular role. Because whereas with Morgan Berry and with Alex Moore, they kind of have a rock star persona, and Maki gives off that type of air. And I'm not sure if Leah really steps up to that sort of rock star persona.
Well, you've also got to kind of remember, she may give off that air that she's a rock star, but really she's not.
True, that is very true.
Because again, she runs away from trying to be this really well-known actress. She kind of runs back home.
Gotcha.
So she may have that persona, that air about her, but she's actually not. So I think that's probably why I really enjoy it so much. Because Maki does have this facade, and you don't exactly expect someone like Leah Clark to voice a character like this. Again, it kind of goes back to versatility, and I can appreciate that. But she manages to play essentially the mask that Maki wears rather well, I think. And given the circumstance of the character itself and what she has been doing so far and what she's been given, I think it's really solid, honestly. Any other thoughts before we move on?
Get on with it!
Get on with it! We're down to 2. Alright.
And then there were 2.
Shiori Shinomiya. She works for the Tourism Bureau. She is one of the first girls that Yoshino actually meets when she gets to this small town. Shiori also grew up here along with Ririko and Maki. And you can kind of... The best way to describe her character is like the cutesy, innocent kind of like...
The small town girl.
Small town girl, exactly.
Living in a lonely world.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah.
At least he's not singing the whole song.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Not yet, anyway.
basically Shiori is Waifu-chan.
Essentially,
Pretty much.
yeah. Essentially.
Yeah.
Predictions for Shiori.
So, oddly enough, I actually have one. Although, the person I have as predictions, I have no idea if she actually does broadcast dubs because I don't pay enough attention.
Okay.
But my prediction would have been Lucy Christian.
She does.
Okay.
Rarely.
She is a taco in My Hero.
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically one of the few that she does is
Yeah.
She was in another one, I believe. I think she reprised her role as the narrator in Kami-sama Kiss 2, I believe.
Yes, she did.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like she has done a few more, but it's probably more like smaller things on occasion.
Right.
Hardy, do you want to go next?
I did. I had 2. Shiori kind of. No offense to the actresses when I say this, but she kind of gave me vibes as kind of an airhead.
Oh, I know where this is going, and I think I did the exact same thing.
And the actresses who came to my mind, once again, Monica Rial in her little girl voice, not little, but normal voice.
And
My problem with Monica on that particular front is that Shiori does kind of feel a little bit older of a character. Like, I thought she was about equivalent in age to Sanae. So, not that Monica couldn't have done it, but probably wouldn't have been my first choice, no.
Yeah, well, she's older she is a bit of an older character, but she's still very youthful at heart. And as a result, my second choice was Tia Ballard.
I'm going to kind of piggyback off of that. I also actually had Tia Ballard for pretty much the exact same reasons as you did, but also because Sakura Quest and Royal Tutor were the last 2 simuldubs that I started watching. So I watched all the other shows that I was interested in seeing before that. One, of course, being Alice in Zoroku, where Tia voices Sanae for that show, and kind of gave me similar vibes here as Shiori.
They are very, very similar characters.
Yep, very similar characters. So Tia was actually my second choice here. And my first choice actually, once again, I actually had Caitlin Glass here. Because Caitlin has played similar characters to this before in the past. And the whole thing with directors, sometimes pretty much not like 7 times out of 10 they'll put themselves in the show somewhere. And I would imagine, because again, Shiori and Sanae were probably the 2 roles that I would imagine Caitlin putting herself into if she really wanted to. Lo and behold, Shiori Shinomiya is voiced by Miss Tia Ballard. whom, if you have not heard of this wonderful individual before, of course, just as mentioned, she is in Alice in Zoroku. She's also in Blood Blockade Battlefront, as well as Garo the Animation. Now...
And she's happy.
Here we go again.
More dad jokes.
Now, this was the first note I wrote down when I was like initially watching the show. Tia is as adorable as I expected her to be. I love it. Every second of it.
Yeah, I mean, she's waifu-chan. She's, basically, she's basically the mom of the group of the 5 girls, so.
Essentially, yes.
I like when she gets drunk in episode 7. She just starts grabbing onto Ririko, and I think she's like, I'll make you my wife! But I don't know, was she drunk on alcohol or water? Because she had a water glass during that scene.
She's probably hitting straight vodka.
Vodka. You mean.
Yes.
Oh,
Straight
no.
vodka.
In
Remember,
Soviet
the
Russia,
town,
vodka drink you.
remember, the smaller the town, the more your alcohol limit increases.
Oh, yes.
I'm about to say, we've stooped so low to go with Russia jokes. Oh, no. Oh, how the mighty have
I'm quite
fallen.
sure this ain't even close to how low we could go.
We can go lower, trust me.
Go lower, probably.
You haven't heard, Shark, the Shimonetta episode. It can go very,
Oh, please,
very
Diabolic
low.
Lovers More Blood makes that look like a fucking G-rated movie.
Yeah, honestly. Just wait and see.
And that one has like a 20-minute gap where like someone's internet went out.
Yes.
But
Dear sweet Lord.
no, I like Shiori, and I have to mention this because damn if we're not talking about this character. And I know Ark hasn't heard episode 8. Fucking Felicia Angel does about the best close match at Tia Howard I've ever heard in my life as her sister. It was terrifying.
Yeah, it was terrifying. Honestly. Like, I knew instantly it was her. Like, I picked on it rather quickly. But at the same time, it's very, very close to Tia, and it's like, holy crap.
But no, I also think she really captures, like, the voice of... Like, you know that kind of stereotypical voice a lot of people associate with, like, people who live in, like, smaller rural areas compared to, like, somebody from the city? Like, I guess, like, the difference between somebody who lives in upstate New York and, like, a New York City accent. Like, how I have, like, relatively no accent because I didn't grow up in the city, but, like, if you heard both of my parents speak, you would instantly know that they were from the city. And I think that Tia does a good job in capturing that.
Another thing that, personally, I think that Tia does rather well, because we've been describing Shiori as the small town girl, and I kind of relate to that essentially, because I grew up in the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
Oh, yeah, I've been there. It's nice on the weekends.
No, the weekends are actually the
yeah.
absolute worst time to go.
Yeah.
Yes, honestly, it is, especially in the summer. Oh goddamn. But a lot of the small town mentality and vibes that you might get from the show, a lot of it comes from Shiori, and a lot of it I can relate to, having grown up in a small town and having left that small town. So I can kind of relate to it. And going back to the whole bit with the whole house burning thing that was going on during the movie, I personally have not had a similar case happen to me before, but I could still feel her. I still feel bad for her, because it's like one of those things where it's like, if my grandparents passed away and someone decided to tear down their house, I would be very sad. I mean, to an extent, because my parents, my mom and my stepdad, when we built our new house when I was in high school, I was kind of sad that we moved out of the house that I grew up in. And then, because we basically built the new house behind the old one, and watching it, unfortunately the new tenants that came into it, watching it kind of deteriorate over time and just turn into a mess and a dump is kind of depressing to me. So I can understand that it's a similar situation to what Shiori goes through during the whole filming of the movie. So a lot of the small town vibes and the small town mentality and stuff that she goes through, I kind of relate to it, and I think Tia portrays it very, very well, having that small town girl vibe, and it's very believable to me. So I think Tia is probably my favorite performance out of the bunch, honestly.
Okay. Wow.
Small town. You don't even get me started about grad school, because when we talked about plays and theater criticism involving small towns, freaking oh god.
Were you the tree, Lilac?
I was not the tree.
Did you want to be the tree?
No, whenever we talk, I want to be the damn tree. No, when we were talking about what was the playwright? Anton Chekhov. Some of his plays, we were talking criticism, because he always had like a small town mentality. All of a sudden, my professor would always come to me about that. After one time, I just discussed
the cherry tree.
We didn't analyze the cherry tree. It was which we were talking about Uncle Vanya. That's what I'm thinking of. The one time I talked about small town mentality in a class setting where basically everyone but me was from the large city. All of a sudden, every time that topic gets brought up, it's like, well, I bet Stephanie knows a lot more about that. Can you tell us? I'm like, God damn it. The one time. But,
sorry,
yeah.
I'm not your tech support.
Not your tech support, go away. Leave me alone.
I don't know, go dump yourself in the middle of nowhere and learn.
Learn.
Learn. But yeah, I really enjoyed Tia's performance of Shiori. Excuse me. Was there any other thoughts or opinions on Miss Tia Ballard before we move on?
I think we're good.
We are on our final character, Miss Yoshino Koharu.
Yay!
She is essentially our lead
Yay!
for this series.
I think we know who Ark's best girl is.
We know who Ark's best girl
Yay!
is. So
Like, he's got mail.
Ark, 1 yay for waifu, 2 yays for the best girl. Just yay 3 times.
Anyway, so Yoshino is essentially our main character of the entire show. When we first meet her, she's in Tokyo, she's trying to get a job, she's fresh out of college.
AKA the realest scene some of us have ever watched.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. Being turned away from 32 jobs.
Only 32? This ain't realistic at all.
No, not the least.
No, I need you to up that to 100.
Yeah, but she suddenly gets a call from essentially this modeling agency that she worked for when she was in college to get a little extra money. And she's told about this opportunity to be some town's queen. So she goes, finds out that it's actually not supposed to be her, but this pop star that died years ago.
Because that's an interesting twist that nobody saw coming. Because
No.
who would make that mistake?
Exactly. But eventually she ends up staying, even after finding out it's a year-long contract, and she tries to run away, then decides to stay.
So we did find out that, in fact, the bus does run through here.
Yes. But she's essentially the queen of this small town for the year, and she's helping the tourism bureau try to drum up basically tourists into this small town. Predictions for Miss Yoshino. I only had one, and mine kind of comes with a story, so I want to go last.
Okay. I had no one.
I had 2. I kind of went for the obvious and typecasting for facial features and characters who look similar to this character. Whenever you have a pink-haired girl in anime, there are really only 2 names that pop up initially for me. And those are Felicia Angel and Megan Shipman.
Reasonable.
Because they are well known for playing pink-haired moe girls. And so that's who I predicted for Yoshino.
So, my prediction for Yoshino. So, I got half spoiled. Similar to the Micah Solasad. Kind of. Similar to the Micah Solasad Royal Tutor incident.
AKA why we aren't allowed to go on Facebook anymore.
Or in my case, Instagram. So, I was rummaging through Instagram one day, and I was going through Instagram stories, and there's one actress that I follow on Instagram, and one of her stories was she took a selfie of herself in the booth, and the caption was "First day on Sakura Quest." That was Brina Palencia.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew she was in the show.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't know where. So when I was looking at all the characters and figuring out if Brina was in the show, where would she be?
And
Yoshino
you thought it was
was the
Yoshino.
one
Yeah,
that-
no, I can actually see.
just-
I can see Brina having done Yoshino.
Yeah. So I assumed, okay, Brina usually has a lot of energy when it comes to her characters. Yoshino has probably the most
Out of
energy
anyone.
out of any of these 5 main girls. So instantly my brain went Brina Palencia. Obviously that didn't happen. She's Ririko.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, who we have, also an actress who has boundless energy, Miss Alexis Tipton.
Yay!
Whom you have seen in series such as Aka, Noragami, and Space Dandy. So,
Also, if
how
you
do
play
we-
video games, you might recognize her
Oh,
as
here
the
we go.
voice of Pascal from Nier Automata. Because Pascal is great.
Ta-da! So, how do we feel about Alexis and her performance as Yoshino?
It's comfortable
Art?
with the job.
Yeah. Art, she's your best girl. Why don't you go first?
So, it's kind of weird, because this is one of those ones where I almost kind of wish I watched the dub first. Because listening to Ayaka Nanase do the voice of Yoshino in the Japanese dub, she just kind of fit so well for me. So when I heard Alexis do the voice, I would say she did an extremely good job, and I did enjoy listening to her, but it just felt off, because I just kind of felt like Ayaka absolutely nailed the character perfectly. It's like one of those times where you hear a voice and you're just like, that is perfect. This person is perfect for the role. Nobody can ever top it.
Wow.
And then you have someone who does a really damn good closeness to it, but just isn't quite there.
Is it sort of like a Haruhi Suzumiya sort of situation?
No, I think it's more of an Okabe Rintaro sort of thing.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So, like with Okabe Rintaro, Mamoru Miyano did the best fucking Okabe ever. Nobody can be Okabe better than Mamoru Miyano. John Michael Tatum tried. Bless his heart, he tried, and he did a damn good job, but he is just not Mamoru Miyano.
Yes.
To be fair, it's Mamoru Miyano, who is insanely talented, and I don't think has anybody in the English language that's the equivalent
Well,
to him.
forgive me. Wasn't Miyano also the voice of Koro Sensei?
No, that is Jun
Okay.
Fukuyama.
Okay, I got it
Basically-
confused.
basically-
Sorry.
Craft
Fukuyama
Force,
does show up,
Bryson Wolf.
just does show up a lot, but in the case of Kuro Sensei, I actually think that the English was far better. Personal opinion.
Yeah.
Sunny Straight, yes.
Yeah, Sunny
No,
Straight
no,
was so
trust me, Matt.
goddamn good.
Sunny Straight was fucking perfect. I'm
He's a-
sorry. And I'm with you as somebody who does also, I would say definitely more than Hardy, who does appreciate a lot of really good Seiyu work.
Megan is dubbed the Seiyu trash
Is
of the group.
Seiyu trash
so-
is the Seiyu trash can. And I actually find it really funny because now that you mentioned the Seiyu's name, this is only her third
Yeah,
role.
she's
on.
done
At
very
least-
little, which is
she's-
like I think maybe one of the reasons for me that helped a lot, because she's only had a couple of supporting roles. She did like a main character in Servamp that I never watched, so who the hell cares?
Don't watch Servamp. It's a bad
I know,
show.
but it's like, so when she came in Sakura Quest, I had never heard her before. And when you have a character and a voice actor or actress that you've never heard before, and they just nail a character, that's the one you will remember for like the rest of time. So anytime I
That's
hear
true. Oh,
Ayaka
and I-
Nanase, from now on, Yoshino is what's going to pop into my head.
No, and I'm absolutely the same way for Natsuki Hayane. Because to me, I've watched countless times, I've watched Tokyo Ghoul in the Japanese, and to me, like, he will always be Kaneki to me. Because he was so fucking good in that. And even then, at that point, he was fairly new. I think the biggest show he had done, he had a little bit more than, oh my god, I'm blanking on names, and we just said it, than Nanase-san had. He had at least had Nagi no Asakura as the lead in Nagi, as in A Lull in the Sea.
Right.
But for me, I feel bad because I didn't get the time to actually watch the sub before the dub came out because I was really, really busy at that point. Not as busy as you, so I can't say I was busy compared to you. But I can see where you're coming from because I like Alexis in this a lot.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say she's my favorite, because I've heard Alexis Tipton in other things. And to me, my favorite Alexis Tipton role of all time is always going to be Kofuku in Noragami.
Yes.
Because she was fantastic.
She's
in
diabetes
that.
cute.
She not only is she
Noragami's
diabetes
just
cute, she
fucking
really
amazing dubcast wise.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like the show itself is also really
Yeah.
good, but like the dub sold Noragami
Is-
to me so much.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm someone too who actually likes the subcast of Noragami because it does have Hiroshi Kamiya as Yato.
Yep.
And it does have. Okay, I'm not fond of Yuki Kaji because Yuki Kaji's in like fucking everything in Japan. Like to the point where apparently other seiyus joke about that. Because if you don't know me, my two favorite male seiyu are Natsuki Haine and Ono Kensho. Because yay, Ono Kensho and his adorable face. But I really think that Alexis does a good job here. I wouldn't say she's the strongest out of the 5 girls. I'm probably going to give Elizabeth that one, because I really like Elizabeth as Sanae the most. But it's not bad, but it might be because of the show or the fact that I don't feel like I relate to Koharu yet. Especially as somebody who is around the same age as her and the same gender and kind of coming into the same place. But I think, again, that she's not bad, but maybe if I heard the Japanese, I'm pretty sure I might have the same reaction Ark had with the character.
Well, my reaction is I think the performance is good. I probably would have given someone else the role just for the sake of variety, because we've heard Alexis in so many lead roles. It would have been nice to hear someone else do a spin on it. Not that Alexis Tipton did bad. I think she did a great job. I just probably would have given it to someone else.
Who would you have given it to?
Well, like I said, someone more like Felicia Angel or Megan Shipman. I know that they've been in their fair share of lead roles as well, but we've not nearly as many as Alexis. And I would like to hear sort of a fresh spin or different take on it.
I know for me, because one of the few notes I wrote down was Alexis does bring in a lot of energy and spunk to Yoshino's character, which is exactly what Yoshino needs, because she's very energetic and very gung-ho. But I think a good amount of the problem that I have is with the character itself.
Okay.
Because Yoshino did grow up in a small town.
Yes. And then she left.
Didn't like it. Exactly. So, to me, I can kind of see like parallels for myself in Yoshino, but how she handles herself is very different, because I know for me when I go home, because it's very rare for me to go home sometimes, and I can at least appreciate, like, growing up in this small town. I know I wanted to get out of it as fast as humanly possible, but, like, it doesn't hurt sometimes that when you're able to go back to it, and you kind of appreciate, like, the quiet and just getting a chance to kind of, like, relax and calm down compared to the bustling big city. So, I mean, I have an appreciation of going back home. Yoshino doesn't.
I kind of wish what she had was a bit more time to actually kind of let us get into her head a bit more, because in the very first couple of episodes she was very hard, no, I want to go home. And it was a very quick swap and heel turn to suddenly, oh no, I love it here, I'm going to do my best.
Yep, that's the part that I can't really believe, and that's more on the fault of the character, I think.
I think that's a good place to kind of transition into final thoughts.
Yeah.
Probably. So, final thoughts on the dub of Sakura Quest and how you feel so far. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
I guess... Oh, do you want to go first, Ark, or should I?
I can go first. I really do like the dub of the show, but the only kind of problem I have is more so a personal problem, in that I really love the show. So, me watching the rest of the dub, because I watched it for this cast, I probably won't continue the dub for a while, probably because I just want to finish the show. And then next time I end up like watching the show with someone else, or just need to rewatch it myself for a video, or who knows what, then I will go back and watch the dub, because the dub is very enjoyable, but it's not like I'm not going to sit and wait for the show or for the dub to catch up to the show, because I want to continue watching the show, but I can't really... I'm not one that really likes watching the same show kind of twice over, both in sub and dub. I'm not one to usually do that. I'll just pick one and stick with it, so then I don't like get confused, and then it's weird.
So
Yeah.
maybe
That's similar
maybe
to what I do, except I more stick with the dub of stuff. Because me, it's like I don't want to get confused, but I also don't have time to do one show twice.
Yeah.
So that's my reason for just sticking with one. But
So maybe once it comes out on home video, you'll give the dub a second shot.
If not before.
Yeah. Okay.
I actually think I'm in the opposite position of Ark, where I'm okay waiting for the dub, because I still don't know 100% how I feel about the show. I think it's a great show. It's far from being even mid-tier. This is probably going to be someone's anime of the year out there.
Probably.
Like, it's
at
a
you,
contender.
Miles.
Probably Miles.
Yeah,
Yeah, look at you, Miles.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Remember, kids, if you say, if you insult Shirobako 3 times in a mirror, Miles will come out and smack you. I had to get that in there, I'm sorry. I don't know if there was a lot of hype behind this show for me, just from people I know who enjoyed Shirobako and enjoy PA Works as an animation studio, that I was super excited to watch this show, and then I was like really surprised at myself for not being into it, to which I contribute part maybe to hype, and for me having another show that I like that is relatively similar to this, in Silver Spoon. They have a bit of the same vibe to it. I wouldn't call them like a 1-for-1 match. I'll probably wait for the dub. It makes it really enjoyable. Are there a couple of like little casting things here and there, maybe some dialogue that I wish was changed? Yes, but this is far from being a bad simuldub at all. I've heard worse. I've been on worse shows this season.
Yes.
We don't talk about that one show, even though the cast and I think Caitlin does a really good job, and I like that you can tell her passion for this project, which is great when you have a director on a show that they truly love and that they truly respect, because it does come through in the final product.
Right.
So, I will finish this up when the dub is done, and I really hope to see where it goes from there.
Yeah. No, I've actually been really, really enjoying the show in particular, and for no reason in particular. You know, because I did not watch Hanasaka Iroha. I did not watch Shirobako before this either. I know everyone's like, you need to watch Shirobako. I'm like, when I get around to it.
If it makes you
But,
feel better,
watch
I'm in the same
Hanasaka
camp.
Iroha.
I haven't seen it either.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it either,
Yeah.
if that helps.
And I
so
think-
people are gonna yell at me too.
You and Miles can punish us later, Ark.
And I think the reason why I'm so quick to watch this in comparison to the other two shows is because it was dubbed, unlike the other two. And yeah, you can definitely tell that there are some casting choices I probably don't necessarily agree with, but even so, all the performances are well done. The writing is up to par, and like I said at the beginning, you know, you can tell a good dub if there's really nothing wrong with it. If you don't really have any major complaints, then why start? And so yeah, I've been enjoying the show just as a show in general for no particular reason. It's just fun. And is it just me, or does anyone else kind of think of TLC's No Scrubs from the first few notes of the ending song? That doodly-dee, doodly-dee, doodly-dee,
That might just be you.
doodly-dee.
That might
That's
just be-
probably
just you.
Yeah. No.
Now that song's gonna jump in my head. Thanks. Appreciate
just listen to the two.
Hurry.
Listen to the two songs and the few guitar notes at the very beginning. It is kind of similar.
it.
Just saying.
Anyway, so I kind of feel like I should have a lot of personal attachments to this show. Again, the whole small town vibe thing comes into mind here, and there are parts of the show that are relatable. I think the dub is really solid. Again, again, like Megan said, it really helps when the director behind it is very passionate about it. And Caitlin Glass is usually passionate about every single show she does. So that's not a problem.
Yeah. Honestly, she is.
I think more of the fault that I have is with more on the Japanese side and with character development. Because characters like Maki, like Shiori, they have these interesting storylines, but they're not developed very well. They're either rushed or they're come out of left field, in the case of, to some extent, Shiori, but more Maki. But, and then there's also ones where they do a complete heel-toe turn, like Yoshino over here. But that's probably my larger problem with the show, is the actual character development. Which, luckily, it doesn't really affect the dub, because the performances from here, they do well with what they're given. It's not one of those cases where they're given it, but they don't do it very well, which is good. But honestly, this dub is a very solid one. I'm probably going to keep watching it week to week. I'm very glad I finally caught up to with the damn thing last night, because now I can watch it week to week. Because this is the one show I haven't been following week to week, because I wanted to make sure I had the show fresh in my mind before doing this episode.
But why does she dress up as a ninja?
Because fuck you, that's why.
Fair enough.
So, on that note, if you are interested in seeing the series Sakura Quest, it is available both on Crunchyroll. The Japanese version is on Crunchyroll, as well as the English dub is available on the Funimation Now, both the website and the app. If you are interested in either one of those, they both have 14-day free trials, but kind of like we always let people know about, if you don't like the service at the end of the trial, cancel it, because they do ask for credit card information, and if you don't cancel it, they'll start pulling money from your account. But
the nerve!
I know, right? But,
How dare they make a profit off you?
Yes.
But,
They should all be like that site we don't talk about and just give it to us for free.
oh, fuck that one site. But,
Yes.
as you can clearly tell from all of four of us here, it's honestly worth it. We do like the services very, very much. In terms of shelling ourselves up and plugging ourselves and the things that we do, Ark, since you are the guest of the evening, would you like to go first, sir?
Sure. Again, my name is Ark. If you've never heard of me, well, that's a thing. I do a YouTube series called Glass Reflection. You can just go to youtube.com/glassreflection, and that'll be me. Hi. I'm also on Twitter. I sometimes say funny things and retweet funnier things, because that's how I roll. And yeah, I've been doing this for a long-ass time. Hope to continue to do this for a long-ass time.
Alright, who's
If it
this?
wasn't for his ass doing things for a long ass time, we wouldn't have this show.
Quite honestly, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the three of us here, myself, Hardy, and Megan, met on the D2 Brigade forums, of all places.
Desu Des for life, baby.
Oh, Lord.
Get
Anyway.
tattooed into your flesh.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. No, my name is Spaceman Hardy. I don't run any sort of review site or anything like that. I am, however, on the Twitters. You can follow me at Spaceman Hardy. I do a lot of angry rants and post a lot of Final Fantasy VII pictures
You do too
and a lot of
many angry
goats.
rants, just
A lot
saying.
of... What'd you say?
You do too many angry rants, just say it.
I know. I
You
need
need
to
to
calm
stop
down.
it! God damn.
It's not my fault Anime Strike is the abomination upon mankind, but whatever. But what I also am a forum moderator over at the Funimation Forum. So if you do decide to sign up for Funimation Now so you can watch the dub of Sakura Quest, also come drop by our forums. I will greet you happily. We are a bit of a motley crew over there, but we all have a good time. And come by, say hello, and maybe talk some anime with us sometime.
My name is Megan, and I run a series of slaughterhouses now.
Not again!
I'm not bringing that up again. No, my name is Megan. You can follow me at QueenArrow2 on Twitter, where I shitpost and talk about animals and post pictures of the cat. And yeah, that's me.
Huzzah! And my name is Stephanie, or Lilac, whichever you prefer. I used to do reviews and stuff. I kind of fell off the bandwagon because there's this thing called a full-time job that eats up like the majority of my time. But if you're interested in following any shenanigans that I may be up to, you can follow me on Twitter at Lilac Anime Review, with review being spelled REVUE, where I sometimes shitpost or complain about stuff and
Putting up with our crap.
Putting up with your guys' shit all the time.
Right.
Yeah, all the damn time.
Sorry about that, by the way. Yeah.
If
Just kidding, not sorry at all.
Sorry. Let her finish.
Whatever. But if you're interested in checking out anything else from the Dub Talk podcast, of course, you are currently watching or listening to the Dub Talk podcast on YouTube, so you can subscribe here to catch anything else that we do. We try to make sure we do things weekly. By the time this episode goes up, we are probably going to be smack dab in the middle of our Summer of the Movies as well. So that's a fun little additional thing that you get to see us do. So we'll actually be posting 2 times a week right now. But you can also follow us on Twitter at dubtalkpodcast. We also have an Instagram and a Tumblr for Dub Talk Podcast if you're interested in anything like that. And on that note, sweet baby
notes.
Jesus, I'm looking at the time. This is the shortest OG episode ever.
Yay!
Because we
It's a new
usually, when
record.
it's the 3 of us, it's usually, you're looking at like 2.5 hours.
New
at
record!
least. New record! What is this shit? But anyway, I think that's it from us tonight.
Thank you, Ark.
Yes, thank you
you
so
for
much,
having
Ark,
me.
for coming and hanging out
I hope I
with
didn't
us.
waste your
Absolutely.
time.
Anytime.
No. You're more...
Anytime you want to come back, you are welcome.
Totally.
Yes, absolutely. Just name what episode you want to cover, and you are free to come by.
Will do.
Absolutely. But otherwise than that, I think we are good for the night. So let's say our goodbyes and call it a day. Because Ark has to go to sleep because he has a flight at like 2:30 in the freaking...
Well, I have to get up at that time so I can get in my car and drive an hour to the airport. And since it's an international flight, I have to be at the airport like 2 to 3 hours before takeoff. And then I'm going to be on a flight for 5 hours, at an airport for another hour and a half, and then on a second flight for another 2 hours.
Basically, you have a long-ass day ahead of you.
Yeah, not as long as coming back,
so-
because coming back I have to deal with the opposite problem of time differences, in that I lose 3 hours.
So I think you should listen to Morgana and go the fuck to sleep.
I probably should.
Alright. With that, it's time to call it a night. Have a good night, everybody, and otaku on, my friends.
Keep it manly.
Stay frosty.
不安な時